Hello and welcome to this quick guide on how to use the main features within a Teams meeting. My name is Matt Setch, I'm the IT Service Lead for Lords IT, and I'm going to show you how this works. There's been lots of new features added since the last lockdown and a different layout. The principal thing that you'll notice is up the top, the bar's moved up the top here. It used to be in the middle of the screen, but it's now at the top. So I'm going to guide you through these settings along here so that you know how to handle them when you're having a class or a meeting. So the first thing we'll see here is we've got two people in this meeting. I'm on the participants button, and here you can see that these two participants are muted so that we don't get any feedback and we don't hear what they're saying. Now on here I've got options. When I hover over the user and click on the three dots on the right hand side, I can quickly use one of these options in the menu. Now if you want to pin somebody to your screen, that means that as a teacher you're always able to see that video. So if there's somebody that you want to keep an eye on, you can choose them and pin their icon, and you can pin multiple people within the meeting. The spotlight option means that whoever you choose that on, whether that's yourself or another user, that is the principal video in front of you, and that is the one that everybody else in the meeting or the Teams meeting will see. So if you're the teacher and you want everybody's attention on you, if you click on the three dots next to your name, you can go to Spotlight Me, and that'll put you front and center. The other thing from here that you can do nice and easily is remove the user from the meeting should you want to. The other important thing that we've got on this screen up the top here is the ability to click on the settings button, and you can here choose to whether to unmute, don't allow the attendees to unmute themselves, and you can also download an attendance list such as a register of who's in the meeting. The other option is to manage permissions. If you click this, it will take you onto a permission screen for your meeting, and you can change the settings, and there's some quite important ones here for education. So the first one is who can bypass the lobby. So the lobby is a room that users go into before they come into the meeting. Now for education, I recommend that the only person who's allowed to bypass it is yourself. So kids can't come into the meeting unless you let them in. So I would switch that to only me, and then I would change who can present to only me as well. Obviously it depends on what your lesson is. If you want to allow the children to present their work, then you can choose the people in my organisation or the specific people option depending on your needs. And you can also here choose whether attendees can unmute themselves. So if you don't want them to speak in your lesson, you can choose that unmute mute option here as well, and just save it for this meeting. Now they are per meeting options as well, so just because you set them in this meeting doesn't mean there'll be another one, so bear that in mind. So that's the participation menu on here as well. Also, if somebody wasn't muted, you'd be able to click on here and mute individuals as well should you want to as well, but unless you've turned off the ability for them to unmute themselves, then they will be able to unmute themselves. The next icon along is the show conversation button. Here is, as it says, you can have a chat with other people, particularly important if you've got people in the room that don't have a microphone or similar, they can have their messages on here. Now you can use this along here and have the hover your mouse over to give feedback on different elements of the meeting. And it's all available up in the chat, and you just press the hide button again to hide it, and so you can keep an eye on it if you want to or not. The raise hand function allows for people to get your attention. So in this case, I've just raised my hand. My circle's gone yellow. It will continue to have a little hand raised down here next to my name, and also you'll see on the participants list I've got a notification, so if I click on there I can see that I've got my hand up as well. So the user can lower the hand or place a hand up, but you can also click on the little icon to lower the hand of that user once they've raised it. It's really good to cue people in if they want to talk rather than butting in and talking over each other. The next option is for Breakout Rooms, and I'm going to do a specific video on Breakout Rooms. It's a brand new function in Teams, and what you can do is you can set up your how many rooms that you want, and you can choose to automatically or manually assign people to those rooms, and you click the create rooms, and what it will do is allow those people to go into the different rooms. So we can see we've got the room here, and I can start the rooms when I'm ready, and I can also end them when I'm done as well. So if I click start rooms, it'll open that room, and I can see that Matt's gone into that room, and on my user screen they get moved automatically within 10 seconds into that room. And once they're in that room, they're then able to just talk with just the people in that room, and have those conversations safely and securely without overriding each other. I can then click the close room button up here as well, and that will then close the rooms and bring everybody back into the main meeting room as well. So I've got my meeting rooms here, and I can hover my options about them. I can quickly join the room, I can rename the room if I want to, or I can delete the room as well. So I can choose any of those options for what I want. Now breakout rooms is in the testing phase. It is in the beta stage, but it's a brand new feature and something that I think is going to be really, really useful in lockdown. I'm going to come back to the more actions button in just a second, and I'm just going to cover off these ones along here really quickly. So you've got the ability obviously to turn your camera on or off. Hopefully you already know about those settings. And we've got the ability to share content. So if we press the share content button on this screen, we can share. It's broken into four sections on the screen, and we can see here that we've got the our screen, and this will share everything on our screen. We've got individual windows where it will just share specific windows with your colleagues or your students, so that's all they can see. Or we can start a PowerPoint. Now if we start a PowerPoint on here, students can see it up on their screen and interact with it, and you can choose if they can go forward or back. But if you're doing a PowerPoint, this is the best way to share it. So if you can't find your PowerPoint, you can click on the browse link, and it will open up the PowerPoint on the screen as well, and keep a little video of you down the bottom. So very, very important. If you've got videos in your PowerPoint and you want to share them with other people, then you want to ensure include computer sound is switched on as well. So just coming out of that menu, and you can press this button at the top here to stop sharing wherever you want to as well. We'll go back to we'll go to the leave button, and I'll show you one of the most important buttons here, and that is to end the meeting for all. So you can click on this option to end the meeting for all, and that will close the room. If you just leave, it could leave students in there able to talk to each other. So make sure that you press the end meeting button here as well. Now, any additional settings, there's lots of different options that you can come down here. You can get to those meeting options again if you need to change them in the mid-meetings. You can change your device setup as well if you change into different sections as well. You've also got the different options for how you view people. Now, as I've only got one person in the meeting, it's not going to let me jump into these other ways, but the large galleries, as it says, you can have multiple people on there, and then underneath you've got the together mode preview. Now, together mode is a really fun way of seeing people. You just see the top of their heads on a background, whether it's in a meeting room or in a classroom, and you can see everything that they're doing there as well. So really, really useful and easy to see and use that option. You can also turn on the background effects, which I mentioned earlier on, and these last two, which I really think are underused in this one particularly, is turn on live captions. So if you turn on live captions on your screen, on everybody else's screen, it will show the captions for the people who are talking, and it will also now put the name of the person who's talking on there as well, and their icon, so you can follow along even if you don't have headphones, or obviously if you're deaf as well. And finally, if you want to record the meeting, you can click the start recording button. Everybody in the meeting is informed that you're going to record it, and it's being recorded, and at the end of the meeting the output will be in the chat here for those in the meeting to view. Now you can download that and you can export that and put it onto either a stream within Office 365 or into YouTube if you want to do that as well. So that's my really quick guide to using Teams and some of the new features that have come out since last lockdown. I'll be doing some more videos as we progress.